Hi guys, today we'll be doing a water reading on what can you learn from the situation right now. This is Pile 1, Pile 2 and Pile 3. Meditate on the piles. Breathe in and breathe out. Release all negativity. Now let's start with Pile 1. And see what can you learn from the situation right now. Listen to the sound of the water. What can you learn from the situation right now? It's teaching you you need to learn how to detach from the pain and suffering of others. It's like when someone do something that is not kind. Let's say if you are let's say you have some food on your hands, then someone come towards you, then take the food from you, like they take something from you. They never ask from you, they just take it from you. Then you feel that why does this kind of people exist? Then you feel like you start to question yourself, like, is it even real? Like why do this kind of people even exist? So my advice would be look from that person's perspective. Let's say you see some very evil or very evil person, then you should look at it in a form of compassion and sympathy. Like you look at him, oh, that person is suffering so much. Then you go and like show him or her some love. Then you might ask me like, oh, but it's hard to show love to people that are bad to you, right? So instead of thinking that person is bad, observe from that person's perspective. Why is that person doing it? There's no right, there's no wrong. Just observe that person. Like ask yourself, why did that person take from me? Or why did that person just do that to me? Like for no reason. Like I didn't even know that person. Why that person suddenly hurt me? Then you look from their perspective, maybe to them, right? The whole world is hating them, the whole world is trying to hurt them. Then they are so afraid. That's why they need to take from other people. So when you understand their perspective, right, you'll feel more compassionate. Because you understand that the reason why they take from you is because they don't have enough. They're always afraid of not having enough, so they take from others. But from your perspective, you have enough, so you don't feel the need to hoard everything. So it's good. So when you look from their perspective, you should feel sympathy and kindness, and I mean not pity lah, but you feel like you want to help them free themselves from that kind of mindset. It's like you don't have that kind of mindset. So when you look at their kind of mindset, right, you start to perplex yourself, like why is it like that? Then when you look at their mindset, oh, it's actually because their life is like that. In their whole life, everybody around them, they're afraid of not having enough, so they try to take from others. They're always afraid. They always have this fear behind them. And that's what motivates them to hurt others, or it's like they're motivated by that fear. So when you look at it that way, right, it's easier for you to understand, feel compassionate to them. Anything else? What can you learn from this situation? Let's say if someone close to you hurt you, right? Let's say your parent hurt you, abuse you, or anyone close to you, right? I know it's hard to forgive them, but You need to look from a stranger's perspective. You cannot look from a familiar perspective. Let's say you're with your family, then someone within your family hurt you or what, then you feel very hurt, right? But you cannot think of it in terms of family. You must think of it in terms of like that person is just another person. It's just another person that you see outside. Then you start from there. Then you observe, why is that person like this? Then you look within. Let's say if someone hurt you, they abuse you. So instead of looking at, oh, my father hurt me, my mother hurt me, instead of looking at that, right, think of it in this way. Think of it like, this person hurt me. Why did this person do this? Then you just look, why did this person do this? Or maybe this person was also treated the same way in the past. That's why this person just repeated the same thing onto you. Or maybe this person had a lot of stress, had a lot of anger within them. Maybe it's because of certain situation. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe his parents, right, expected him to be something like a great, how do I say, like the successor of his family, like that. He need to do well in his grades so they can bring his family up. Like his parents treated his son like an object to make more money for the family. Then because of that, he also decided to treat you the same. But actually it's not right, because you know that the way that person treat you is wrong. Everybody should have their own freedom. Everybody should have their own free will, that they should decide for themselves what they want to do. So from your perspective, you should understand his perspective. Oh, because his parents treated him like that, that's why he also tell you to go and study, go and study something higher, go and study university. He don't understand like you want to go on this path. It's not because he don't understand that your path is good, but he thinks it based on what how his family, parents treated him. Then he just repeat the same thing onto you. So he think that is love. But actually that's not true, right? So you should show him a different kind of love, like doing what you like to do, doing what you love. Whether he or she accept you or not, their parents will always love you. It's just that they don't understand the way you look at things. It's like to them, have money, survival. But to you is you want to do what makes you happy, instead of doing something that you don't like. So your perspective is different. That person is focused on fear. His fear drives him to do stuff. But for you focuss on love. Let's say you want to do this because you love it, then you do it. So you should try to change their mindset, like you just do what you love, then somehow you still can survive. No matter what, you'll still survive, you know what I mean? If you keep moving forward, keep going, keep believing in it, you'll always succeed. As long as you believe in yourself, you'll succeed. That's all. So just keep believing in yourself, keep going. Otherwise you wouldn't feel happy anyways, right? Even if you do the things, even if your parents tell you to study this, then you go and study, then in reality you don't want to study, right? Then you'll still suffer because you don't want to do it. Then you'll suffer for the rest of your life until you decided to go and do something that you love again. So in the end, you'll still have to do what you love. So instead of think of it this way: if this is the path that I already don't want to go, I will never be happy even if I go. It's like what Albert Einstein say, like if you keep repeating the same thing, you'll never be happy. You'll never get the result you want. So you know that, and that you decided to change. So just keep going towards the new direction. Even you don't know what's going to happen in that direction, right? You just keep going because you know what is not good for you. So you just focus on what you want. It's like when you want something, right? It's what you don't want that leads you to what you want. You know what I mean? You know all the things that you don't want. That's why you can find out what you want. So just keep going and find out your true path. Anything else? What can you learn from this situation? It's like telling you to climb a mountain. Let's say the top of the mountain is your goal, and then you don't know what you're afraid of right now, right? It's like climbing the mountain. You're afraid of what's gonna happen while you're climbing up the mountain. But if you stop climbing the mountain, let's say, and then you walk towards the side of the mountain, or you walk backwards, you'll still face a lot of uncertainties. You also don't know what will happen when you go towards the side of the mountain or go down. You know what I mean? No matter which way you go, uncertainties are always there. Like fears of anything, you can be afraid of anything. You'll always be afraid of anything. So why don't you just go the straight route? Just go towards where you want to go. You know what I mean? Because no matter which direction you pick, there will always be fears. You know, fear is like part of life. Everything, you can be afraid of anything. It's like, let's say you walk another path, you also can be afraid of something else. You walk this path, you also can be afraid of something else. So what's the point? Just do what you love. Just keep going. What can you learn from this situation? As long as you believe in it, you'll reach there. Because that's how it works. The more you believe in it, the easier it is to reach there. The more faith you have in it, the easier it is to reach your goal. All you have to do is just keep going, and then you reach your goal. It's like the more you think about it, the more you manifest it, the easier it is to reach there. Yeah. So just keep manifesting, keep going. Always focus on what you want. That's where you will go. That's where you'll reach. Is that all? What can you learn from this situation? Okay, thank you, Power 1. Welcome, Power 2. Let's take a deep breath. And let out all the negative, or just release everything. Release everything. Okay, now I'll pour water. Listen to the sound of water. What can you learn from this situation? How to? What can you learn from this situation? Okay, the past doesn't define the future. What happened in the past, right, won't repeat again in the future. I mean, it might, but don't let it determine your future. Yeah. You just leave the past behind. You're afraid that the same thing might happen in the future, right? But the past is already gone, and the future is different really. The past is already gone. Don't try to manifest the same thing in the future by thinking of it. Even if you're afraid, right, think of it this way. The past and the future is two different things. The past has already gone, so the future is different people, different things. It's how you treat. It's how you react to it. Let's say in the past, somebody hurt you, so in the future you're always afraid of people hurting you. But if you keep doing that, right, you attract the same thing. You know what I mean? You attract people who want to hurt you. So instead of keeping that perspective, find out what you want from that perspective. Let's say like you want a kind person, a loving person, then think of it, focus on that. Manifest, okay, I want a loving and kind person, but don't focus on a specific person. Just focus on the values, like what you want from that person, from your partner, or what you want from the community. So let's say I want love from the community. Then you focus love from everybody. You want everybody to love you, something like that. Then you just focus on that. Then when people don't love you, you just move on. This person don't love me, okay, move on. This person don't love me, okay, move on. Until you find the person that loves you. It's like how to say, it's like, you go Tinder, then you swipe. You like this person, you swipe. You don't like this person, you swipe the other way. So you just have to see, okay, I want someone loving. Is this person loving? No, okay, no, next, until you find the person that is loving. That's all. Or let's say you want someone that loves you, then you don't know, right? You're confused. Like, maybe does this person love me? Does this person not love me? If you're confused, right, then most likely it's not. You know what I mean? Because your gut feeling will tell you whether this person is right for you or not. If you are loving to that person, then that person is not loving back to you, then it's not balanced already, right? Then you should just move on. Like, don't out of fear of like not having a relationship or something, then you hold on to that relationship. You should just move on. Then until you find a partner that is on your level, that loves you equally. Okay, don't think from that person's perspective. Let's say if that person doesn't like you, whether that person like you or doesn't like you doesn't determine your worth. Only you can determine your worth. The more you spend time with people who pull you down, right, the more you're affected by them. So instead of looking at that way, like, oh, why do you think I'm bad? But that's just their own judgment, their own perspective on life. You know what I mean? It's that their life is, oh, they look at you, then they say, hey, you are ugly. That's their perspective, you know, they just see it and they say it. So it's not your business, you know what I mean? It's just their own perspective. They see it this way, then you see it in another way. You know what I mean? You don't have to take their perspective to heart because it's just their perspective. It's just like, let me ask you, if you look at this woman, let's say, she looks pretty to me, but let's say to another foreigner, hey, I don't like this kind of woman because this is not my type. That's all, you know what I mean? To his perspective, you're not his type, that's all. It's not about whether you're ugly or you're pretty or it's just, you're not the type, you're not my type, that's all. That's what he's trying to tell you. Like, okay, let me tell you something. If, let's say you're fat, right? Then people say, you're fat, you're ugly, you're fat. So what? That's just who you are. Those people think that fat is ugly. It's just their perspective. Right? Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say you look in the 1980s, 1970s, 1960s. Every time there will always be a different trend. Like let's say they wear very formal, they wear this kind of spectacle, and wow, this kind of spectacle is an extremely handsome man. But in this era, right, the what is popular, right, will change. You know what I mean? Like, oh, now it's a different look, a different way of doing things. So every era has a different things that make them popular. Maybe one day you also become popular. You know what I mean? It doesn't represent your worth. The people around you don't represent your worth. Only you can determine your own worth. But when you go and look around you, right, everybody have different perspectives. You know what I mean? Some people say that, oh, I like popular guys or girls. But some people say, oh, I like people who are not so popular. So everybody have different perspective. You say being fat is not good, but what about it is not good? It's also part of you, right? You know what I mean? It's also like, oh, being fat is also like a form of a charm, something like that. You can see in that way. You don't have to be, how do I explain? You don't have to be so affected by other people's judgment. When they say something to you, right, the reason why you're affected, right, is because you give them your power. Let's say you treat them as a friend, you give them your power away because you trust them. Or so when they say something to you, you're affected. So all you have to do is just delete them as friends. That's all. You just have to cut off. Just take a scissors cut. Done. If you ask me, oh, I feel bad, I feel painful, or so what? You should get better friends, you know what I mean? Just get better people. If this person is not worth your time, just cut it off. You don't have to live out of fear like, oh, what if I will not find better friends? But the thing is, you will always find people who are better because there's so many people in this world. Regardless of whether they're better people or not, right? I mean, there will always be lah. I mean, everybody is different, you know. Everybody is different. Everybody have their different perspective. You might find someone who loves every part of you. Regardless of whether your body looks like this or looks like that, some people will just love you for who you are, you know what I mean? Those kind of things, right, will just disappear. Like as you get older, all the looks will change, the body will change also. So when everybody get older, where's the prettiness really? Where's the ugly? Where's the handsome? You know what I mean? Everybody become old, they become ugly, they also die eventually, you know what I mean? So looks don't matter. It's like you're thinking too superficial. You're thinking that, oh, this person say this to me, I'm hurt. That's all. But in reality, that's not the truth, you know what I mean? It's just their own perspective. And you don't have to be friends with them. You just know that this kind of person has a very low vibrational state. Then you just cut that person off. That's all. Then you find someone better. Anything else? What can you learn from this situation? Okay, you don't have to do any weight loss or anything. You don't have to prove to them that you need to change. That in reality, you don't need to change. Just accept yourself for who you are. When you start to accept yourself, right, your body will start to become very beautiful. Because when you love yourself, regardless of whether you're fat, you're skinny, you're what, right, as long as you love yourself, people will love you. That's what I would tell you. Self-love is the most important. It's like when you see someone, wow, they're so pretty, they're so loved, right? Looks is only a part of it. Self-love is also another part of it. It's even more important, you know what I mean? Right now, you're actually going through a good phase, you know what I mean? You're learning how to deal with those judgments. Let's say you are born very handsome, very pretty, then everybody says you're very good looking. Then what happens if somebody says you're not good looking, then you're very hurt because you let those judgments affect you. You let praise, you let criticism affect you. If you let people praise you, then when you get criticized, you also get affected. So they are both the same thing, you know what I mean? So when you let people criticize you, it's actually a good way to learn how to let go, learn to not attach their words onto your value. It's like your self-worth is not determined by other people. Like when you love yourself, right? Nobody can stop you already, you know what I mean? It's like you love yourself so much that nothing can stop you. Even their judgment, they say, oh, you are blah blah blah, you are blah blah blah. But that's your perspective. I'm an art, I'm a canvas. Everybody is different. That's how they paint me. They paint me in this way. That's how I look. That's how beautiful I am. Because I'm a canvas. I beautify myself. I make who I want to be. I become who I want to be. You know what I mean? You don't have to change yourself. When you change, it's like you're self-depreciating yourself. So just accept yourself for who you are. That's all. Then you move on from it. You must tell yourself, are you doing this because you love yourself, or are you doing this because out of fear? Because people say that you don't have this, you don't have this. Then you go and find that this thing. You go and find out, oh, I need to wear nails so I look pretty, so I look gay. Or if I slim down, so I'm hot, I'm sexy. Like you don't have to do all this, right? That's just how the toxic media works. Right? They just say, oh, everything is like you need to look like this, you need to get this body that is not real. It doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? It's like destroying your health to be like this, make yourself suffer. That is wrong already. If you're suffering, then that's not what makes you happy. You know what I mean? Just do what makes you happy. You don't have to care. You should slowly discover yourself. Find out what you like to do. Find out what makes you happy. You can just start from cooking or painting your house, organizing your house. Maybe you like decorating your house. You try something that you like. Maybe you go out to nature, you like to play. You just touch, like feel the nature, feel the plants, feel the animal. Like they always make you just get to try out more things that make you happy. Yeah. If you like crystals, also can. You can also like create some crystal encyclopedia, then find out more about crystals, tell people more about crystals. Like anything can be a hobby, Just go out and have fun. Then once you're happy, right? As long as you're happy, even if the judgment come in, you just look at it. Oh, it's their perspective. That's all. Like whenever someone criticizes you or praises you, right? Remember to always focus back onto your purpose. Why are you doing this for? Are you doing this for other people, or are you doing this for yourself? If you are doing this for yourself, even if people criticize you, even if people praise you, it won't affect you. Let's say people praise you, you feel good for a while. Then after you feel happy. Then after when people criticize you, you feel bad. But the thing is, this is what you want to do. You want to do this for a reason, for a purpose. I want to do this to help people. I want to do this to, let's say I want to do tarot reading, to share my spiritual knowledge. That's all. Whether you like it or not, it's not my business. You know what I mean? It's just I want to share my spiritual knowledge. If you benefit from it, thank you. Like if you don't like it, you can just click the page away. You can just go to another page. So that's how I view things. It's like just focus on your main purpose. Why are you doing this? If you want to do this, you do this because you like it, then you do it. You know what I mean? Like for example, I do this because I want to share my wisdom. That's all. Like I do this because I want people to learn more about what I'm thinking, my way of thinking, my way of life, my way of doing things. I want you all to learn like how I work through my problems, how I work through all the things that I went through. Like I had a lot of problems in my past also, like a lot of judgment, gossip, like a lot of stuff lah. So after that I learned how to work through all of it. Then it's like I'm happy now, I guess. It's not happy, but I feel peaceful now. At least now I know what is good for me, what's not good for me. Then I just cut out those that are not good for me. Right now you are just learning lah. But you should just slowly take your time, get to know yourself better. Just ask yourself, what do you want from yourself? That's all. Don't ask like what are you doing out of fear? What are you doing out of love? Then focus on what you're doing out of love. That's all. What else do you need to learn about this situation? Okay, seems like I need to convince you a little bit more. But okay, how can I convince you? Okay, it's not about cleansing those negative energy or removing their judgment from your mind. It's about understanding their perspective and then respecting them. Let's say someone say that you're fat, or someone says that you're not good in a certain way. You look from their perspective. Let's imagine you're that person right now. I'm that person, I'm saying, hey, you're fat or you're ugly, then I laugh. Why do I do that? Why do I hurt other people? So you think from their perspective. Why do I hurt other people? Is it because I'm afraid of being judged? That's why I judge other people? That's a perspective, that's a way of thinking. Then you look, maybe it's because I want to fit in with my friends, so I say that you are different from us, so I feel included in this society. I say that you're different, so I feel included with my friends. You know what I mean? Like most people do it out of fear, out of judgment. Most people do it out of all these things. Right? Or they say they judge you because they just like, why is this person so weird? Then they look at you, then why is he like that? Like maybe it's because their way of life, they have never seen someone like that, then they judge you that way. Because their way of life is, okay, I do this, I always cook, like my parents always shout at me, it's normal, I always shout back, it's normal. So when I shout at you, it's normal, you know what I mean? So when you like that, wow, how can this person hurt me? But to that person perspective, it's like, that's my way of life. So you have to look from that person's perspective first. If that person judged you in a certain way, then you look from their perspective. Are they afraid of being judged? That's why they judge you. Or are they afraid of not having friends? That's why they judge you. Or do they want to feel included? That's why they judge you. Or do they feel that you are different from them? That's why they judge you. Because they want you to be the same as them. Everybody have different perspective. So when you look at their point of view, then you realize, actually, nobody judges me. Everybody is just reflecting their own insecurities or their own problems on me. You know what I mean? Okay, you understand, right? Okay, let's see. So you are good already. Okay, thank you. Pao 2. Should move on with your life with happiness. Stay blessed. Stay happy, okay? Yeah. Be your true self. Thank you. Welcome, Pao 3. Now listen to the water as I pour. Okay, for this part, I feel I need to pour a lot of water. I don't know why. Seems like there are many things to talk about. Which one should I start first? Okay, I'll get the general overall reading first, then I'll go into specific. Okay. So the 4 parts, right, are completely different. So I'll use some cards to separate the parts even further. Means I'll separate part 3 into 5 specific parts. Okay. Okay, so for the first part, okay, this is the first part. Should I close the card? No, I keep it open. Okay. This is for the second part. Oh no. And also all the parts are linked, so let me feel. Okay. The first 3 parts are linked. So you want to watch the first 3 parts of the Pao 3 together. Third section. Okay. Then the 4th and the 5th section. Okay. The 4th section. And then the 5th section. Okay, so how do I separate these? Yeah. You should continue let the water focus on your energy. Then these are the 5 powers. The 4th and the 5th one I separate, the first 3 together. Okay, so for the first specific, what can you learn from this situation? I feel like you're doing astral traveling. Like you're traveling to different dimensions through your dreams or... Okay, let me see. Okay, let's say you're trying to open your third eye or you're trying to open up your intuition, right? But you're afraid, right? then you should put some deity to believe in, like some kind of some deity lah. Like let's say you believe in God or something, or the universe, let's say, then you should have let the deity protect you first. Do some protection rituals. Let's say when before you do meditate or you do some spiritual cleansing, right? Wear some protective stones or do some cleansing with water. Imagine white light shining out from your body protecting you before you do any astral traveling. Then you say that I'm protected, I'm safe, I'm secure before you start going there. Well, you guys are quite fun pal. I feel like you guys are like dreamers like that. You'll go to different worlds, like fantasy worlds, then you'll dream about different places, like things I've never seen before. They're very imaginative pal, okay. So what can the first section learn from this situation? What can you learn from it? Okay, from what I feel from my perspective, like let's say you go to an imaginary world, you should go and explore, right? Explore, understand everything, go and explore the different things, go and see, wow, everything's so different. But you should try to find some synchronicities. Like let's say you go to this beautiful place, right? Then you go and observe everything. Maybe there's a purpose why you are going there. Maybe because dreams, right, always have a purpose. They want you to find out about something. Let's say you go to a very beautiful place, then you go to this world. Maybe you are meant to show this world to the people, to the, like let's say to this, our current world right now. Let's say you are a painter, you imagine of this very beautiful world. Then like, you want to draw this world, you want to draw that world into a canvas, then you show this world like, oh, how it looks like, you know what I mean? So maybe you're supposed to share your wisdom, share your knowledge, but your spiritual images that they give you, like clairvoyance, like they show you all this. What can section 1 learn from? Okay, I think it's done already. You just need to share your knowledge of all these things, all the like just be unconventional. Show your art to the world. Show your difference. Show how different you are, how special you are. Yeah. Okay, section 2. What do you need? What can you learn from this situation? Section 2 seems like you're crying from something. It seems like you're very depressed. So what can you learn from this situation? I think right now you need to rest. Just stop focusing on the sad feeling. Just let it be. But it's very hard. Okay, my best advice is to pray to some deity, ask for some help. Because right now you're very, like, when you go through depression, you need someone to guide you out of it. You can't get out on your own. Unless you're very strong-willed, you know. Okay, let's say you pray to some Buddha, like you pray to Namo Guan Yin Pusa. Let's say you pray to the Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, then you ask them for help, but you are still very depressed, right? I can tell you this, everything takes time, because you still have to clear all that feeling that you feel inside. It's like very tormenting, like, right? It's very painful, right? But you'll still get through it eventually. It's not something that you can clear overnight, because it's like something is haunting you or holding on to you, you know what I mean? So you just have to just leave it, let it be, then after a while it will slowly dissipate away. And then try to bring in more good things into your life. I know it's very tiring, like you're resting every day, you're very depressed, life is very hard to go through life, but that's just part of life, you know, like they come to you, what can you do? Those things come and hold on to you, make you depressed, make you sad, like you can't do much about it. You just have to like accept it that they are here, Then now that they are here, you just welcome them, try to understand why they are suffering, why they are so sad, why are you so depressed. Then you just move on, just understand them. I can give you some advice, but it's not easy, but you need to look within yourself. I know it's painful and tiring, right? But maybe don't focus on the pain too much. Focus on why the pain is there. Let's say you feel this pain, very painful. Then you ask yourself, why? Why is it painful? Why is it painful? Everybody feel pain differently, right? Right? Some people have low pain tolerance. Some people have very high pain tolerance. So what is pain? Pain is just a certain feeling that I hold on to. So why do I feel that feeling? Why do I feel this dreading feeling? Why is it there? Then you ask yourself. Then you go and see why. Keep asking why. Why is it like this? 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 Then when you keep asking why, right, you seek the truth into that situation. Let's say you see, why am I sad? Then you go and see, there's this spirit holding on to you. He's very sad. Maybe it's your family, someone that passed away already. They are very sad, so they keep making you depressed. It's your parent, your family karma. So they keep making you depressed. You can't do anything. Every day you feel sad. So you pray to some deity to help you clear that spirit from you or clear that karma. Then you ask yourself, okay, why am I still holding on to this sadness? So you ask yourself, why? Then you look within. That person is sad because try to understand the other person first. Understand why is it sad? Okay, let's see. That person is sad because he's depressed. Something happened, then they cry. Someone died, then they cry. Then you slowly figure out why you are sad. Then after that you go and look within yourself. Why are you still holding on to this sadness? Then you ask why. Then maybe it's not that you're holding on to it. Maybe that feeling, right, is ancestral karma. You cannot let it go because it's part of you. So you have to go and find out why that person is sad. Then you find out why that person is sad. Then you find out what makes that person sad. Because that person hold on to a certain situation, a past situation, attachment. Let's say attached to a death, attached to something that make them sad. Then because they attach to the situation, they keep holding on to that depression feeling. So once you observe that, this is the cause, then you look at the cause. This is the cause, right? Then it will just disappear eventually. Because you realize that situation doesn't make you sad. You realize that death is a natural part of life. Everybody dies eventually. So what is there to be sad about? You know what I mean? Everyone have to go eventually. No matter how sad you are, you still have to go. You know what I mean? It's just like friends. You make friends, they will leave eventually. It's the same thing as death. Death will eventually take you, you know? It's inevitably a cause. You know what I mean? You don't have a choice. So you think of it that way, it's part of life, then you won't be sad anymore. Okay, that's good. So let's go to the third section. I feel like, let's see the third section. So third section, what do you need to know? What can you learn from this situation? Okay. So you are saying that, like you don't want to be arrogant, but you feel prideful when people praise you. Okay, let me feel. So it's like, you feel very proud that people praise you, but it becomes arrogance, something like that. So you feel very proud of yourself. So you learn that it's good to receive. What can you learn from that situation? Okay, I'll try to explain in depth. If you don't understand, I'll try to explain to you. So it's like, arrogance is when you fill your ego up. So what is that ego? Ego is like trying to validate, trying to make yourself feel happy. So it's like validating yourself. For example, let's say somebody say that you're very good at exams or you're very good at doing this. Then you feel like, wow, I'm so proud of myself. So the reason why you feel happy, right, is because you want to validate that certain part of the ego. Let's say that someone praise you, you feel happy. Then what happens if they don't praise you? Then you want them to praise you. So you keep trying to seek their approval, seek their validation. But in reality, you're not validating yourself. You're not making yourself happy. That's what I'm saying. If you want to be truly happy, right, you cannot hold on to any of those ego, those praise from other people. You need to start to love yourself. Do things that are loving, self-love. How do I explain to you? Self-love. I think you can start by watching those, cooking videos, peaceful videos, like, that Linziqi they just in the nature, right? They will just cook, then they cook their videos. Like, it's just peaceful life, like that kind of peaceful life. You need to switch away from the chasing lifestyle into the patient, the sitting down and doing nothing lifestyle. That kind of lifestyle is more peaceful. Like, the reason why you chase for praise, right, is because to you that's happiness. But you need to look for other forms of happiness that are even greater than that happiness. You know what I mean? It's like you watch Linziqi videos, she just cook every day, then you see the nature, see the birds, then you listen to the music. Right? It's just very peaceful, that kind of feeling. Then once you understand that feeling, right, then you'll be able to get out of the arrogance situation, because you won't feel truly happy anymore in that situation. You know what I mean? Okay. Anything else that section 3 can learn from? I think it's find other forms of happiness. That's what I feel. Because you are too stuck up in the praise, the love. It's very hard. I understand what you mean. Like, you want to be truly happy, right? But those forms of happiness don't make you truly happy. What makes you truly happy is like what your soul needs. Let's say some people say they want to travel the world. They just travel, hiking, explore, they solo travel, they feel very happy alone, just sitting in the mountain alone, they feel very happy. It's that form of happiness that can make someone truly happy. That's true happiness. It's like being yourself, just being who you want to be. That's true happiness. Being yourself, that's true happiness. But right now, it's very hard to understand that yet. So, is there anything I can help section 3 to find their true happiness? Right now, you're very confused. So, go and look up on more things that make you feel calm, feel peaceful. Because to me, right, that's true happiness. When you're calm, you're peaceful, right? I think that's happiness. That's my perspective. I'll try to link some videos down below to tell you where to see all this stuff. Peaceful, I guess. Sleeping music is also good. Okay. Also, you can listen to sleeping meditation. Like those healing meditation. They heal your base chakra, base chakra, sacral chakra. The bottom chakras are important for you to help you ground yourself so that you can find what you want. And then the heart chakra is also very important to open up your heart so that you can find what you love to do. Just focus on all the chakras. See what chakra you need right now. Because right now you're very confused. So I also can't figure out for you what you want right now, You just see which chakra you need for yourself right now. Because it differs from everybody. Everybody has different. Like if you got fear, right, then you need the base chakra. If you want to be creative, right, then you need the sacral. If you want to be confident, then you need the solar plexus. If you need love, you need some self-love, then you use the heart chakra. So everybody needs different things. So now I'll go to the 4th section. Okay. What does the 4th section? What can the 4th section learn from this situation? Okay, right now you're stuck, and then you want to push forward. You want to achieve a certain goal, right? You want to go there, but you don't know how to reach that situation. So you're using your strength, your passion to go towards that situation. So what can you learn from this situation? I think balance is the most important part. Because let's say you want to be successful in a business, right? You want to achieve a certain goal. So what you're doing right now, you're planning all the logistics, all the marketing, all the products, like inventory, everything lah. Let's say you're doing everything yourself. You need to learn how to balance. You need to learn how to delegate. Let's say if you really cannot do it on your own, you have to give it to other people. You cannot do everything on your own. I think it's crazy if you ask me, if there's a lot of things to do. But let's say if you want to do a certain passion project, let's say you want to achieve a certain goal. You want to paint 500 pictures. Then you want to attain that goal, right? then you're very passionate, you're very strong. It's not realistic. You know what I mean? It's not realistic. I'd rather you take your time, organize everything, then do a certain amount every day. Let's say you organize yourself to 5 hours of work every day. More than 5 hours cannot already. You need to spend other hours to relax and do spiritual, to relax yourself. Because you cannot be spending 100% of your time in work, right? Then you stress out. Then after that you overwork already, then you get very tired, you know what I mean? So right now, you just have to organize your time properly and then go for it. That's what I feel. Anything else they can learn from this situation? I think that the mind is tricking you because the mind is giving you stress, right? But go and write down your stress. What are you stressed about? You will realize those things are not stress. Some of the things, like, let's say you're afraid that this thing will not come in time. This certain project, let's say you want to sell a certain product, then that thing that you're buying from a supplier, right, it's not coming in time, so you cannot sell to them. So that there's nothing to be afraid because you cannot control. It's something that you cannot control. Let's say you're painting, you're selling your artwork, then you're letting them process the artwork. You're afraid that they'll make the artwork bad or not good. So there's no point in being afraid because you can't control what they're doing, you know what I mean? It's like, just write down what you're afraid of, then look at the things that you can control, then try to start from there, work from there, work from what you can control, then move on. Because I think what you're doing is quite big, so you need a lot of different preparation, different resources. So what you need to do is organize it, then find out what you can do to overcome all those things. I feel like you're some CEO of an organization, then you have to manage a lot of people. So you just have to delegate, like, okay, what they need to do right now, what they need to do right now. Just focus on right now, what you need to do right now. You need to focus on building this, building that, then go for it. You want to paint, okay, go and buy art supplies, go and buy this, buy that. Then you think of the future. Okay, what are the possible things that might happen? Then you write down. Let's say in the future, this person might not have the inspiration, or let's say this person might not be able to market the product effectively, or you write down the possible situations, then you think about, okay, how to overcome it. Okay, let's set a deadline for them. Let's say if this person doesn't create this product in time, you set the deadline to earlier. So you put 3 deadlines. The first deadline is to check, second deadline is to check again, then the third deadline is to finalize. Something like that. And then if the person says they don't want, then you don't have a choice, because you need to be logical as well as being idealistic. You want to, let's say you want to fly astronaut, you want to fly to space, you want to fly to Jupiter, you want to use some astronaut you need to use something to bring the people inside the plane to that place, right? So you have to think about food, supply. So you have to separate everything right down already. Then you think about, okay, how do I want to achieve that goal? So let's say I have an infinite supply of food. So the people shit, then you use the shit as fertilizer to create plant, correct? Then that's secure. Then what if some unexpected thing happen? Let's say like something happened to the food supply. What can they do? Let's say you grow the plant. Then what if one day the plant don't want to grow because of a certain condition? So you have to think of all the little things that might matter, you know what I mean? It's about being specific, right? But also being open-minded at the same time. Like being, looking at the big picture, yeah. I think you understand what I mean. Okay. Anything else this 4th section need to know? Okay, let me see. It's like you want to make the house majestic, right? But you can do one part at a time, you know? You cannot, let's say you have a mansionette, your house is a mansionette, then you want to paint your entire house, you want to decorate your entire house, but it's not realistic, right? You know what I mean? You have to start from somewhere, you have to start from the living room, start from the kitchen, you have to start somewhere, you know what I mean? Then slowly you paint every part of your house, then you complete the whole project, you know what I mean? Or you can just hire people, then you plan out the layout of the entire house, then you direct the people to do it. But what I recommend you is, You can plan the entire layout of the house first, like how you want to paint the house or everything. Then you plan the specifics. Let's say you paint already, you have to think about the color, how does it feel. You have to think about your layout, everything, the perspective, how you see it. Let's say I paint this color, how will it look like when I'm inside that room? Is it too dark? Is it too bright? Let's say if I have the window open, let's say I have the window closed, let's say if I on my light, how will it look like? Because all these situations will affect the layout of how your house look like. Because maybe your light is too dim, then the painting won't stand out. Like the color of your house won't stand out. Or maybe it's too bright, it's too dim, you know what I mean? All these things. So try to look at every part of the project as well as the big picture. So try to write down the big picture, organize, focus deeper on all the small parts, then understand what you need to do already, then you start executing the project. Is there anything else you can learn from the situation? I think calming, C-A-L-M, calming down is very important. And writing down your fears is important because you have a lot of things to process. So you must write down everything, process everything out. Write down everything, process everything, understand everything. Then it's easier for you to do, easier for you to resolve it. Rather than getting stressed out on so many things, do it step by step, one by one, okay? Step by step. Okay. I already said, I'm not going to repeat the same thing again. You should understand what I mean. Okay, let's go to the next section. Okay, let me feel. Okay, sorry, not the next section yet. What else do you need? What else can you learn from this situation? Okay, let's go to the last one. Let's see, what else do you need? If you are afraid of things that you cannot control, right? Accept it. Realize that it's something that you cannot control. That's the truth. It's something you cannot control. So it's not time for you to focus on that. You must realize that it's something you cannot control. Regardless of whether it's anything, just tell yourself, it's not something I can control. Move on. Then focus on what you can control. You know what I mean? Nothing, okay, it's like a business lah. A business will fail a lot of times, but you'll succeed, you know what I mean? If you keep persisting forward. That's what I mean. You cannot like analysis paralysis, then you analyze until you're scared, then you stop. You know what I mean? It's part of life, you know? Yeah, let's move on to the last part. Okay, hi guys. Sorry about the interruption. So now I will proceed with the last section. What do you need to learn from this situation? Okay, it seems like there's some disagreement in... I think you're doing some group work and you're having some disagreement. What can you learn from this situation? I think it's telling you that there are all kinds of people in the world, and then it's not worth your time to just deal with them. Like, you know, like there are some kind of people who just don't want to do their work, and there are some kind of people who are very good, they help you, they do their... So, just don't care, you know. It's like it's part of life. There are these kind of people, it's normal. You can't do much about it. What can you learn from this situation? Yeah, it's a challenge for you. It's a Queen of Swords. It wants you to make a... How do I say? Prompt this... How about it's prompt? It wants you to make a... It's not hasty, how to explain? Fast decision or something like that. It wants you to make a... What kind of... Okay, what is that word? Clear. Need a swift and clear decision. Yeah, it wants you to make a swift and clear decision on like, this person is not good for me, then you just cut off. If you think like, why this person don't do work, then it's like, okay, this person is not good for me, then just cut off, that's all. Don't have to think so much. What can you learn from the situation? It wants you to be decisive. It wants you to make your decision, something like that. Because you know that some people are like that, then you just think, okay, they are like that, that's all. What can you learn from this situation? I think that's all. This part is quite short.